Archers, attack! Keep firing! Let none escape! Another down! Do not relent!
Welcome to Panda Land. We are reporting live from not the farm, because it's not there still. Do not relent. I'm Slidewhistle.
It's Immunization, or should I say, Robo-Gnome.
And it's me, Aaron, Fire Magic Extraordinaire and Horrid Punching Bag, or should I say, big reveal. It's Overwatch.
Hey, the man himself, Jeff Kaplan, is with us.
Hey, what's going on? If anyone asks where I found this milk, it's from my own fridge. Please don't ask any questions. I'm still not letting him off. I know he was probably a good boy, but he needs to cash in his good boy points or point at the bad boy. Otherwise, Jeff, you're sneaky to me.
I think he's fine. It's weird. It's been a long time. It's been a week, but I feel like so much has changed in this week. Because when Panda Remix came out, we literally played like an hour, maybe 2 hours.
Yeah, it had come out the hour prior to the show.
So
now
we
I
didn't
feel like
really
a
get
changed
to do anything
man.
much, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then both y'all restarted, basically. So
Yeah, I got rid of Lars. I trashed him. Although I recently restored him. But I've been playing on Mechagon, my Mechagonian warrior.
And yeah, I'm also on a Mecha Gnome, and Robo-Gnome, the Unholy Death Knight, is officially max level, and I am currently on that grind to gear up so that these raids don't hurt anymore. The scaling has been very weird. I feel like low 60s hurt less, and you were like doing crazy damage on these dungeons and raids. And then once you get to 70, like everything just hurts, and I'm like, I guess I just need more gear now because of the scaling.
Overwatch is a dwarven enhancement shaman, a real Gumbuno type of character. And fun fact, I don't actually know what he looks like because I was so frantic to make sure I held on to the name Overwatch that I just said, male, dwarf, go. And so I was just like, if you asked me a single feature about Overwatch, I could not tell you.
Is there a barbershop or something that you could change it in Mop Mix? I don't even know.
Probably it's probably in
Vale.
of the Golden Blossom.
Yeah, you could do your business there. I haven't done it either. I mean, I have a Mechanome. You can actually get the Heritage Armor, by the way. So I know if you level the character to 70, well, actually, you only have to be 50 to get the armor. All you have to do is then make a trial character in main WoW. And that trial character will get the Heritage Armor quest, and you can go complete it, and then you can go back to WoW Panda Remix, and then you can put the clothes on. It's kind of weird. Probably shouldn't work that way, but I'll take it.
So you're telling me that because I'm max level Robo-Gnome, I can just make a Mecha Gnome that I don't care about, do the quest, get the achievement, get the mod, delete that guy.
There's not even an achievement for those guys. You log in and you have it.
No, there's an achievement. I got an achievement.
Well, but is there a quest? I forgot if you need to go back to Mechagon the island and be like, you did it, you're one of the cool guys, or if it's just when you hit it, you get it in your bag.
So when I loaded in on, what did I name him? Robot Gnome, Robot Boy. When I loaded in on him, I got a quest from Prince Erasmus, and he was like, come back to Mechagon. And I was like, how am I going to do that?
See.
So I fucking went to Borealis, and then I tried to fly there, and I ran through the portal, and then it said, trial characters can't do this. Little did I know, all I had to do was go to the Stormwind Embassy, take the fucking portal that has randomly appeared on the ground, and then it's just like, okay, here you go. Get the fuck out. I was like,
It's been actually 3 or 4 years since I did any of those guys, so I forgot it.
It is crazy though. DN Army, if you have any characters you want to level or heritage armors to go off after, this is the time to do it. Especially after you get a max level in Mop Mix, which in and of itself didn't really take that long. I took my time and had it in what would you say, like a few days if you just take your time?
I think it was like maybe like 5, 6. I did it in like a day or two, I think. But like I just played like all night because I had the day off. So I was like, let me just fucking hammer this shit out because it was fun. I'm having a lot of fun. In MOP, it's kind of fun being on the Isle of Thunder, which is it's so funny because the Isle of Thunder, you can just tell that it's a proto Tanan jungle. Like it feels just like it.
I'm sure a lot of people won't like that comment because I don't know that like Tanan was received well necessarily.
Yeah,
although,
I believe it's a much maligned feature.
Although like to the three of us, it's kind of nostalgic because the Tanan jungle patch was basically the patch that we came up in. Like that was the end game once we got to the end game and realized or like had any acknowledgement of what an end game was beyond just like leveling and questing. Because I feel like we were just like having fun leveling and questing for a very long time.
Plus, Throne of Thunder will never be as impressive because you can't fly there. So there's not the sheer joy of your friend having Draenor flying and you not. So you going, please pull out your rocket, please. We need to get to Doom Howl.
Yeah, instead you gotta fucking ride your portable yak thing that gets stuck on walls to try to catch a rare before it dies, which is so funny. It's like, you'd swear that this is these people's first time playing an MMO. They're like, well, these rares are dying too fast. Why isn't anybody calling them out? And it's like, what do you expect? Like, it's a 3-month thing. Like, people aren't, they're just here to hit shit. Like, calm down.
People are wild in the MMOs, I swear. Like, I feel like WoW players in particular, like, it's so easy to rile them up just by, like, doing nothing. And it's kind of become just, like, one of my favorite things to just, like, poke at people. Because, like, it's so obvious what will make them angry.
Yeah, I've been having a lot of fun in the Isle of Thunder. People are just, like, so easy to get triggered.
I have mostly been going through old storylines, and I will say this, everyone. Not only is it quick to level, it's very quick to do those old rep-based stories. I remember in order to get the red haha silly funny griffin, I had to do landfall in Yum, and you actually have to do dailies, day in, day out, random stuff, and then maybe every week and a half you'll get enough points to get on to the next part, and you do that. I remember it took me like 2.5 months to get through landfall.
Is
now,
rep boosted in WoW?
Yes, you do any part of landfall and you get like 5,000. I was exalted with the Kirin Tor offensive after the 4th quest.
This is good to know because like I was like now that I have a max level character, I was like kind of seeing like what all the achievements were and what things I wanted to try to target were, and like there are like rep based ones, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do a rep grind here. But knowing that's good to know.
Oh yeah, it's piss easy. I got exalted with the Golden Lotus. I don't even know who they even are. They just there was like a daily, or it was a world quest. I don't know where I got it from, and I was just running around this area where I had these keys and those opening chests, and you could just farm like the Mogu and they would all give you a key, and each key gave me like 1,500 rep, and I was like, okay, sure.
I just had Forbidden Reach flashbacks. I saw you running around with a key and a chest, and I was like, ah!
That kind of talk is forbidden here.
It's forbidden on the Reach. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and if you are looking to level up alts, it gets even faster. I was on my good friend Neil Warg today.
Neil Warg?
A Neil Warg. ANIIL.
What the hell does that mean? What is that?
It's Growlina backwards. It's a big...
Oh!
She is gray and has orange eyes, so he is white and has blue eyes.
What the fuck?
She shoots fire.
Why'd you make a Warg in?
He shoots ice.
Oh, so this is gonna be a frost mage then?
Yes, it's
okay. That's actually kind of cool.
Is that her voice? Also, is she not a man?
No.
She's a lady.
It's a man. It's a man. Because gender's a binary. Wake up, woke sheeple. The opposite of woman is man, and anything else doesn't exist. It exists in the fantasy land.
But yeah, the leveling of a second character, like you get the experience boosts. I think like basically my I started a shaman now, which I'm leveling as elemental, but I might fuck around with like resto and maybe enhancement as well. And it's also dark iron, so I'm like, I'll knock that out of the way too. His name's Flamewick, and I'm like, I think he started with 100%. Is that where it starts?
Yeah,
Depending on what your max cape level is, yes, the max that level you can give an alt is 100.
I know for a Neil Warg, I did like 4 dungeons and he's at like level 18, and that was maybe 30 minutes of my time. Like I was doing normal dungeons. These bosses were falling over with 4 ice bolts. And then it's just like, I don't know, fucking 2 levels. Here you go. 3 levels. Just take them.
It's so fast. I love it. Because during the time when all 3 of us were sitting out of raid, which we will talk about soon, I'm sure. I leveled Flamewick, and like legitimately, like in an hour and a half of just questing really fast through Jade Forest without reading anything, because I just read all of these quests on RoboGnome. So I was just like, I'll just power through this, because I believe if you want to quest, do you still have to start in Jade Forest?
Yeah, because like the levels, Jade Forest is like 10 to 70, and I think the next area is 20 to 70. I guess you could do dungeons,
that is
right?
correct.
You could just do that.
That is correct. But you could do dungeons, and I think you can queue for raids and scenarios. I was this close to queuing for a raid, but I was like, literally the only abilities a Neil Warg has are Ice Block and like Ice Bolt, the first one. I was like, people would be so mad at me if I rolled in there. And I was like,
they want you. They want you because the scaling for you do so much damage because they make up for your lack of abilities by powering up what you have.
Yeah, that one Frost Lance would kill a boss in a raid, I think. But yeah, no, like during like that hour and a half of like quick questing, he's like level 24 an hour or something like that.
Yeah, I haven't started really my alts yet. I've been trying to knock out the story on everybody, or not everybody, on my main, just to try to get all the bronze collected. They buffed some of the bronze gain, so if you did the quest before they buffed it, sorry, you don't get that. But
boo, I want my week back.
Just kill bosses. I feel like because like it's the equivalent of killing a boss. You can kill the bosses daily, like the world bosses and stuff. So yeah, stuff's falling from the sky. I'm getting a lot. What mount have you guys bought a mount yet?
I have not.
I haven't bought dick. I have not bought anything.
You're sitting
on
I don't
bronze?
Know
why. Yeah, I'm sitting on 50K right now for no particular reason. I guess I just wanted to see how big it would get by doing everything. And then I don't know, then I'll cash out. Here comes the money. But for now I haven't gotten a single thing.
Have you gone shopping? Have you at least looked? Like window shopping?
Yeah, I looked once, like actually just once, and I was like, these are pretty neat. Can't wait till I can afford them. And now I can afford them. I just haven't returned.
I've only purchased a few things. I bought one piece of Mog just to get the Siraj achievement, and that's the only thing I've really bought, I think. And then no mounts yet. And then I just have spent a lot of my bronze upgrading my gear because that's so fucking expensive.
Yeah, they you gotta get that stamina to stay alive in raids, otherwise you're just gonna fall over as a fresh 70.
So what you can, I guess I could say item level, or I could say rarity level, but I'm just gonna bring it down to colors. What color gear are we supposed to have? Because I exclusively have greens right now as a level 70.
You can get blue. Well, you haven't done any raids, right? So I think that's where
I haven't done any real raids.
Should be giving you blues if you do any dungeons post 70.
Oh yeah. Actually, never mind. I do have. I stand corrected. I do have a few blues. The thing is that they're like the same eye level as greens, but some of my armor is blue.
They buffed some drop rates, so you can get purples now just from like questing if you have any questing left to do. Or just killing like the world bosses like Nalak or Shah of Anger or Galleon or did I get them all? Did I do it?
I don't know, honestly. I think I've only killed Shah of Anger so far in this mop mix.
Wow, leaving a lot of bronze and gear on the table. You could be killing these guys Nalak daily on the Isle of Thunder. You gotta get over there. What are you doing?
I mean, honestly, I didn't know the best way to farm bronze. So I guess enlighten us, Slide. What is the way right now? Because I know that they've nerfed a bunch of ways so far.
I have no idea. I don't know. I truly don't know. I've just been the best ways seem boring to me. All I see are people complaining about like farms getting nerfed, and it's like, why are you like, if you like, that's so boring. Like, who's booting up WoW Remix just to do like a farm? Like, I don't really get it.
I feel like we need to talk about it. We need to address the amphibian in the room. I never knew what it was before it was struck down from the heavens. What was Frog Farm?
So, I guess this was a thing that was in MoP. So basically what happened was everybody went through their like notes to be like, what was the best way to farm things when MoP was fresh? And they've been going through that list and testing them to see if those sources are still good in MoP Remix, and they have been. So I guess there were frogs on the Timeless Isle that you could kill, and they would give you both bronze, they would give you gems, they would give you threads. Then they would give you those the coins, the silver, what are they called? The silver Lucky Do coins? Lucky coins, is that what they're called?
Yeah,
Mysterious
something
coins?
like something
Lucky Charms, I think, or something
charms
like that.
of something fortune, of good fortune. I know that random like dailies accept them.
So then they were getting Lucky Charms, right? And a lot of Lucky Charms and a lot of bronze. So then I guess there's somewhere
My little leprechaun friend over here is sweating. Oh, don't move on so fast from the Lucky Charms.
This is where I don't really know. I think what was happening was they were taking the Lucky Charms and they were turning them into a vendor, and the vendor was giving them boxes of bronze per Lucky Charms. So if people did this farm for like an hour, they were getting a lot of Lucky Charms. If they were doing this for 12 hours, they were getting a fuck ton of Lucky Charms, which equals a fuck ton of bronze. People were able to like fully upgrade their gear, like all of their gear. For reference, when you're upgrading your gear, maybe like the hands cost like 4,000 bronze. I think I'm a little over. The weapon costs 9,000 bronze. You have to upgrade everything at the same time before going to the next level. So we're talking like, this is like hundreds, what do you think? 100,000 bronze? 200,000 bronze? It's a fuck ton of bronze.
To upgrade like a set one level, I believe it was around 40k bronze for me.
There's what, like 14 levels?
I think it's like 16 or 20. It might even be like 24 levels or something like that.
So basically, it was super, super lucrative, and it was giving you a lot of stamina on your cape, which just means that you can just basically survive anything. And so then they shut it down, and So now there's this. It's created this whole fucking ecosystem of froggers, where I've been pugging a lot of raids. Just like joining raids. I mean, honestly, I would make my own raids. But when I join a raid, the people will fucking be like, Froggers welcome. Or checking capes, frogs only. And I'm like, oh no, what has happened?
I can't believe it. And this was happening like early on too. This is like day 4 of Mop Mix. And then like Slidewhistle turned to me and he's just like, I fucking hate how there's like a meta of what you need to apply to a group. It's like fucking in Yum where it's like, link AOTC please. It's like, link your cape, or like you better have farmed frogs, and it's like, y'all, like this version of the game has only been out for 3 days. You need to calm down a little bit.
It was like turn of the century, like Irish immigration shit. Like you would try and go places and it'd be like the non-slimy do not apply, and it's like what?
And like my absolute favorite is that like the like terminally online people are like, see, this is all Blizzard's fault, and it's like, no. It's the community's fault. It's you guys are the ones doing this. You can clear the content without a full group of frogs. Trust me, I know, because I became a MoP raid leader, never doing these raids before. I was the classic group leader who didn't know what the fuck was going on and doing the worst damage.
It's funny, when Slide told me that, and I'm like, somebody's gotta do it.
But like,
and you'd be surprised. I mean, not to toot my own flute, but you remember long ago, I did the super dungeon. I was the super dungeon leader, and if you read the book, you'd be surprised how far you can go, just based on like telling. Like people are like, "Oh, what do I do if I get hit?" It says here to do a backflip.
Really, all you have to do is give the tanks assist, and right before the pull, say, tanks have assist. And then that's you just being like, okay, my job is done. Take it away, tanks. Figure it out.
You say the phrase, tanks have the assist, and your job is done.
Well, you have to give them assist. You have to right click and give assist.
Ah, I see.
But it was funny. Slide and I were like crash course trying to figure out how to do anything that a raid leader normally does. Slide was like, how do you put marks on the ground? Then Slide was like, how do you move the frames to put the tanks over to the side like normal? And I'm like, I don't know. I've never done that before.
How much time did you waste on personal anecdotes and gambling?
Unfortunately, not enough. I wish I did do a little bit more, but money's meaningless in Pandaland, so I couldn't do a lot of gambling. But yeah, so when I made groups, I just the first 9 that applied, you're in. Like people putting in their notes like full frog cape or or like high stamina, the best, let me in, and I'm just like, guys, chill the fuck out. This is the easiest content. Like kind of. I mean, some of it was kind of hard, but.
I feel like the dungeons are on normal are easy enough, and then like the heroic dungeons even are easy enough, and then the first few raids are easy too. Scaling does get a little weird, as I was saying, but honestly, like with a group of guildies that like kind of remembered the fights, we were able to just like brute force our way through the first 2, maybe even 3 raids.
I'd say the hardest part so far that I've ran across was I was running a Siege of Orgrimmar group, a normal, and we were doing pretty good. And then we got to the fucking Siege Crafter Goblin guy. And I'm sure people out there who played are like, oh, yeah, that one. Because you can't just brute force this guy. You need to convince these fucking goobers to jump into Mario pipes, go up on a conveyor belt, and kill machines. And so I'm saying, because and you can only go up like once every minute, and somebody needs to be going up like every 30 seconds. So I'm like, okay, who wants to run the pipes and the belts? And nobody responded. So I had to fucking pick people to do it, and they told me no. And I'm like, guys, you all told me no. We can't clear this boss if someone doesn't say yes.
It is a key component of this fight that people hop in the little tubes. If no one does it, we do not move forward.
Like, the boss will have a 90% shield damage reduction on him. So I'm like, okay, let's run it. Let's see. We ran it. I'm like, okay, so now who wants to hop in the pipes with me? Because we need people. And no one wanted to do it, so it kind of just fell apart.
That's really funny. I mean, like, if somebody just told me what I needed to do, I could try to figure it out. I mean, like, people are so weird about that stuff. They probably feel like, oh, no, I don't know what I'm doing. It's like, well, no one knows what they're doing right now, obviously.
Speaking of don't know what they're doing, let's talk about the fact that this guild refused to acquiesce a spot for me, Overwatch.
Or me.
Come on.
Or Slide.
Well, I mean, like, so the plan originally was to do Throne of Thunder and to do Siege, because we cleared raid in one night on Tuesday, and so Wednesday was going to be mop night. And then in my head, I was already like, this isn't going to work, because the plan was to do Throne of Thunder and Siege of Orgrimmar on normal. And I was like, we're not clearing both of those. But then I was like, the levels for those are kind of high. We don't have enough raiders. I don't think they can do that. I don't think.
So then what happened was there was a decent amount of people online early, maybe like at 8 p.m. or so. Okay, I'll just say this in minutes instead. So like maybe like 50 minutes before when the raid normally starts. So then Lynn was like, hey, do you just want to like knock out like Mogashan Vaults real quick with whoever's around first? And then it was like, sure. There happened to be literally probably just 10 of us online. So it's like, okay, that's fine. We'll do that. And then we were just about finishing it, I think, when normal raid time was starting. So then, you know, like our normal raiders started phasing in and like joining the call and being like, oh, so what's happening? So it's kind of funny. I like had to mute myself just because I could not handle listening to people explain what was happening so many times over and over again. had to explain like, okay, well, we're doing this first one. It's only 10 man. Also, fucking 10 man is the stupidest thing ever. So I assume that's what we're going to talk about right now.
Yeah, 10 man sucks. I said in the Discord, which you can join at donotrelenttpod.com, that 10 man was kind of cool.
No pod.
And also, you when you go to there, the lovely Muv reminded me of this. When you go there now, the Discord link will work because the Discord link was still donotRelent.com. They said whenever they clicked on it, it would just bring them back to the website, but now it works.
Oh, interesting. I didn't think about that. DoNotRelent.com. It works now. Get in there.
Oh shit! No, I forgot. I like that makes sense. We totally did not even think about that. We created a circular link, didn't we?
The real prank.
Yes. They said they came to one of my secret dad rock streams and said, I'm trying to get back in, but I literally cannot. And I said, oh, I gotta fix that. It is fixed now.
Good catch. Yeah, we gotta keep checking on that. But yeah, so 10 man. So basically, again, I'm preaching to the choir. You guys already fucking know this. We started in WAD. We only know flex. I've never done a 10 man, 25 man raid. No one's doing 25 man. Why do 25 when can do 10? It seems to be the motto of Pandaria. But so there was already 10 people in this raid for Mogoshan Vaults. Basically, I was like, oh no, that's gonna be it. So those are taken spots because they're not gonna move.
So wait, can you run Mogoshan Vaults 25?
Pretty sure. I think you can.
Anyways, yeah. So then I was like, okay, well, if y'all need me when you get to some of the later ones, let me know. I'm going to hop off Discord and level my alt. So that's what I did. And I think they did like, well, what are the next ones after that? It goes Mogoshan Vaults, and then what's the second one?
Mogoshan Vaults, Heart of Fear, and then Temple of the one that's just a straight line and you go up the stairs.
Yeah, I don't remember its name, but I know which one you're talking about.
I know because I was one of the schlubs who showed up and asked like, what are we doing? And it's like, oh, sorry, no spots. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go. It's like, well, if you just wait 40 minutes, we'll be back. And then it was like 12, and I hopped in the voice chat, and they were like, okay, for Council of Fishmen, we're gonna be. And I was like, Council of Fishmen. They're still on, like, Terrace Springs. Aw, beans, we ain't doing nothing tonight.
Yeah, I know, right? I think they severely underestimated how long some of these would take.
I think they also... I was counting all the math. They understated how fast people were going to be leveling. Because the assumption was that people were going to be dropping as the raids continued because they weren't going to be able to do the next raid requirement. But they were keeping up on pace. So everybody who was going to these raids were getting enough levels to enter the next raid just barely. So I was like, oh, well, they're not going to leave. And I'm not going to, like, if anything, they probably should do the raiding because they aren't going to do it any other time. So I was like, oh, but like, okay, so I guess I'm not raiding today. Why was I waiting for? So I joined my own Throne of Thunder raid because I'm like, well, I'm not going to wait around for these guys. Like, they're never going to finish, and they're never going to offer a seat.
I mean, I guess at some point one of them was unable to go into Throne of Thunder or stepped away or something. So, like, I was, like, late into the raid night. Like, there's only, like, a half hour or so left in our technical raid night. They're like, we're about to start Throne of Thunder. We have room for a DPS. I'm like, I guess I'll hop in. And I didn't realize how fucking long that raid was. That's, like sheer number of bosses. Is it one of the longest raids there is?
I mean, so I did a full clear yesterday, and it was pretty fucking long. Siege is definitely gotta be the longest, I feel like, with 13. But I don't know, I don't know how many Throne has. It might have, is it maybe 11, maybe?
I think it's more than what we're normally used to, so I think it's at least 12. But anyways, we didn't finish it. We called it because we got to the boss that, first off, all of the raiders had like PTSD from literally back and mop on this boss. The one with the different colored lines, and what are those creatures called? The like bog creatures.
Oh, what are they called? The little eyeball creepy swamp men?
Yeah, and they're always associated with like fog and things. That boss, we're like, oh well, we're too tired to try to figure this out right now. So I think Lynn extended his lockout, and we're gonna try it maybe tonight or whenever people are around. Who knows? I don't fucking know.
Also, I have counted and report in. It is the same length. It is also 13. Yes, 13 bosses, including Raden.
Yeah, I was just checking too. So Raiden's heroic only. Siege has 14 bosses, so I was off by 1. So that's crazy.
Yesharoo.
And then not only boss length, like the hallways and caverns in between the bosses were huge. I'm like, this is insane. Like, I'm pretty sure like the one room with where like the snake bosses are, like that is the size of some dungeons nowadays.
Yeah, and the snail stairs and shit. Also, Naxxramas is the winner, by the way. 15 bosses.
I guess that is true. You used to have to dedicate an entire week of your life to pretending to get through Nax. Like, it was like, okay, playing quarter, that's tonight. And then you'd beat it, and you'd be like, see you guys in 10 hours for the erected quarter.
Yeah, that shit. I mean, I don't know. I don't. It sounds kind of fun, but I feel like you would need to really. I mean, the idea was the bosses weren't as hard, and what's that true? Nax was super hard, so that's actually false. Never mind. Fuck that. That sounds awful.
Oh, shit. I just realized, does my man Wowhead, are they about to get canceled? They list the penultimate normal fight as twin consorts. Isn't that something else now?
Oh yeah, they did change the name. I was in there. I saw all the twin consorts or the 20 twinners.
Wait, was it concubine and now they're consorts?
No, I think consorts was changed. I don't remember though.
Did they change it back? They were like, okay, guys, we got a little crazy with our respect woman juice there. Sorry, we called a couple shots maybe we shouldn't have.
Someone check the fruit painting, see if they're women again.
They're like, it'd be too much coding work to change Mop. We went back in time. This is how it was then.
Oh yeah, it's the remix. Like Eterna said, she said, "Do not mess with anything back there. Enjoy your titty paintings for 90 days, because we're fruiting that shit up when this is all over." Girls.
I do like the raids though. I guess it makes sense again because like Mop is going to be the expansion closest to WAD, obviously, when it comes to like before our time. So it feels very modern. It feels very easy to play. I mean, obviously we have our talents, right? But I don't know. I really like all of the setups it's got going on, and it's crazy to me that like people were raiding Mop. And they had to deal with this 10-man, 25-man thing. Like, what would you do? How often would you have to sit on the sidelines during raid night because your group wasn't going to run 2 groups? Or did every guild run 2 20-mans? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, no, I have no idea. Like, that... Or in your guild, did you just have, like, certain people that were, like, the raiders? Like, it just feels very weird. It feels very, like, exclusive for no reason.
I guess 25-man is still a thing, but what happens if like 3 dudes drop out? Are you gonna pug that every night? Like, are you pugging? Like, that's so. Then what happened was Siege of Orgrimmar is the first flex raid. So even weirder. So whenever we do Siege, everyone can just do it because it doesn't matter. We could have 11, we could have 12, we could have 27, or maybe caps. I don't know. But the fact that like they did it like mid expansion or like 3/4 through the expansion is kind of wild to me.
It's very weird, like that. Just you saying that, and then you talking about the Isle of Thunder. It really shows that like end of Mop into Draenor is like very much so like what like the grip it and rip it into the modern era of WoW would be.
Girls.
But basically, everything that we've said so far in this episode is why we like WoW mix here, and why we like it. This is like our version of air quotes classic that we could handle. I feel like.
Oh, okay. I will say, I know I say this every single time, thinking about Cat Classic. But this time,
no, you're not.
I am only because
no one is. WoW's not even thinking about Cata Classic.
Ahoy!
Oh yeah, it's out by the way.
Ahoy said he wanted to do it.
I think it was there last. I think it was there last week.
No, it just came out like. Didn't it come out like this Tuesday? Was I wrong? Am I wrong on that?
I think
no. I think it came out. It came out a few days ago. I think.
Which is crazy. So like, that's a lot of eggs in the WoW basket right now. So I didn't even end up running any keys in WoW Yum. And it was an easy fucking week because I was like, I'm all panda. Like, I'm having so much fun in Pandaland. I was like, why would I play regular WoW right now when I can play the new hot stuff? And then there's WoW Kata. So yeah, like, how split right now is the player base?
I wonder, like, do you think that there's an overlap of people who would be interested in doing Kata Classic and doing WoW Remix and doing WoW Yum? Like, what is the overlap here, you think?
Yeah, I cannot see a person going and being like, oh, I gotta pay attention to all three zones, mostly because I don't know anyone who did Classic and Retail at the same time. And so, yeah, I don't know.
Hacky said he's been thinking about Kata. He's been playing WoW Panda.
Ooh.
You can play free, by the way. You can play Panda Remix for free. That's right. If you're not subbed out there, download WoW, hop in. You can play up to level 20 free. Guess what? You can keep fucking playing. You can get your bronze. You can collect mounts and transmog for your WoW account for the day you come back. And because being 20 is actually kind of a benefit because of how the scaling was working, it's fine. You're basically a twink.
Yeah, force twink at 20 and then just farm all of your mounts and Mog.
You just can't do raid is a problem, but like you can do LFR, I think.
Me rolling up to my friend as they fall over in Throne of Thunder. Ugh, you hate to see twink death. It's one of the worst things in this world.
Girls.
I can't even throw it to Growlina because she didn't get played. Yeah, I loaded into Yum to do the raid, and she was like, "Oh my god, you're back! It's been forever." And I was like, "I'm sorry, my child. It is but for one day."
That was so weird. I like forgot how to play my evoker for like I was like, what do I press? I was repeatedly using my potion by accident because it was bound to like my warrior charge button, and I'm like, fuck, why did I do that?
My favorite was when we were just like doing the like literal 2 ads before Zaskarn, and he's like, why the fuck did I just potion as they were dying?
I don't know what it was. I just got out of rhythm. Yeah, there was at least 2 to 3 times we were looking at Sarkarath, because we did have to get him a couple times, that as we were sitting there, I was just thinking like, potion. And I just drank my my intellect potion as we were sitting there, and I was like, oh, we're not. That does nothing.
What is it about WoW Remix and all of us just wanting to like chug our potions? Is it just because like we've become like it's the Pandaren lifestyle, just like always wanting our brews?
No, like it's up there at the top of my screen next to the rock, like the rock that we're all supposed to rub to get better stats, which I don't see people do the little animation, so it's either personal or I'm gonna guess
rock. What
not a
rock
lot.
are you rubbing on?
The augment stone.
Oh, I don't have that on my evoker. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, like no one has this thing, and I was like, if people are leaving the group because people don't have like enchants, I feel like I'm that way. I'm gonna 23 skidoo because people aren't buying this 100k rock. I feel like a grade A lemon, like a loser for buying
No, you're
this
getting
thing.
use out of it. Okay, how about this? I bought that rock on my druid and my monk. Joke's on me. I'm not fucking playing either of them. I should have bought it on my fucking evoker.
I made the decision long ago that I was only buying it on my hunter. So I only have it on my hunter, and I don't have it on my priest because I'm like, it's not like I use offensive potions on my priest anyways. Like, it's an int bonus. I'm like, that's fine. It matters less on a healer, right?
What do you do on your priest?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, what preparations go into a healer?
Nothing. We don't do anything around here.
You enchanted? Because I'm going to leave the guild if you're not.
You know, I'm an enchanter just to enchant other people's shit. I actively refuse to enchant my own stuff. And my name is Immunization, but I'm not vaccinated.
Wow, Carol, another brave announcement from the Robert Kennedy campaign. Welcome, Immunization. Live in your truth.
Just kidding. I know I don't even.
It's revealed.
I can't even joke about that one. Get your shots, people.
Pussies.
We can finally get our blue collar appeal going. Girls.
Damn it.
we're really deep into the sauce of the Pandaria era here.
No. You see, those people didn't play it because they're like, this reminds me of Jack Black in a panda movie. I can't play that game. I'm like, what? That's gotta be Kung Fu Panda is a great movie. It's an amazing movie, dare I say. 2 was okay as well.
I think 2. I think 3 is where it fell
3
off.
is definitely
And
where it fell off.
4 features Aquafina, and I'm just going to leave it at that.
I forgot there was a 4. Much like Shrek. I forgot there was a Shrek the 4th.
I remember Shrek the 4th. Yob Yag's sister watches it often.
It's a big Shrek 4.
And I remember being like, change the damn tape. Stop torturing this poor girl.
She likes it.
She apparently she does. She would often shout the lines from her room, and I was like, oh, you poor summer child. If only someone had any taste in this house.
It's gonna be insane when they end up doing Warlords Remixed. Because at this point, why not? If it's only 3 months, people are gonna fucking play it. But then I'm gonna be sitting there like, I have all the factions at Exalted. I have all the faction mounts. What am I playing for? I guess the remix mounts?
For the love of the WAD. But I feel like it's probably going to be at the end of War Within if they do something similar to like now at the end of Dragonflight.
Would you guys want to do Doom Roller with me?
I mean, just there's not much doing it, right? You just show up and you punch him for a little bit.
Well, you see, you might get rolled over. You don't want to get rolled over by him.
You know, maybe it's because I did it very sparingly, or I was doing it at the end of WAD's lifetime. I remember rolling up on Doom Roller and nothing really would happen. He'd kind of just sit there and vibrate, and we'd all punch him for like a minute and a half, and then he'd fall over, and right? I would get, I guess, yeah. I was ranged, so he wasn't rolling on me.
I feel like normally what would happen is we would get there, and we would just see a big wheel, because he was killed immediately upon spawning.
And I just have to siphon oil from his body.
Man, I forgot that it was fucking oil. But... That was the one that like is like right outside the raid, right outside of Hellfire.
Yeah, so people who just waited to go in that Hellfire Citadel just turn around and just punch him in the ass.
You know, like I would accidentally run into him and tag him on the way into raid.
That was the only reason that I was able to fight him and no one else was I didn't have flying. Still technically don't. They just were like, oh, you sad summer child. Okay, here's flying. But I didn't have flying, so he was the only one that I could go from like Light's Hope and barrel roll, fall, Gmod clip down the hill and be like, I made it.
The only one you could reach, you could never reach the dancing orc on top of that tower.
No, never. Doom Lord Kazakh, Scourge Lord Kazakh, forget about it. By the time that guy was up, I hadn't even made it out of the Saberon encampment. My ass was so slow.
Okay, we gotta talk about Grummels. Because I didn't fucking know Grummels were just furry animal people. I thought it was a dirty old man.
Honestly, I feel like we rarely ever, if ever, see them without their hats on that cover their whole heads. And, like, the small model things, I just normally don't zoom in to look at them, if I'm being honest.
You know, I heard your statement. I heard when you said that, but I'm just now coming to terms with it. You thought it was a dirty old man.
Yes.
Like a dirty old human creature.
Okay, so you know how there are the pygmies in Cataclysm that are like kind of nasty and they make all the horrible noises and they got big feet.
Mm-hmm.
The Grummels use pygmy models. They're like it's like how Vampira use goblin models. So I was like, oh, okay, that's just a pygmy person. And so the only Grummel that I really knew was the guy on my yak. The transmog yak, and he's always saying like gross stuff, like smelling stuff or talking about how stuff smell, poop and lucky doos. So I was like, oh, just a weird, nasty old man.
I honestly never gave it any thought, like at all.
So the only thing and I guess I didn't look at these guys, although I swear them, one of the ones on your back doesn't have a hat. That's how I knew that they were little like otter guys. But I did not think about it. But looking at them, they all very clearly have, I don't know what it is on, but like the animal, like 3 sideways mouth. They all have chops. So I feel like that would have been the indicator. But maybe the 2 guys on your...
so small.
Maybe the 2 guys on your mount all have beards. Because I am looking at one that has a big beard and a big mustache. And if they're big enough, you could just say, this is a little strange gray man.
Do all of them have things that are covering their eyes?
Not all. I'm pretty sure the guy who runs the shop, not the T-Mogger, but the shop on your mount, I think that guy just has a little bowl haircut. I swear I've looked in this man's eyes before.
Whoa, why am I talking to that guy? I just sell him stuff and he just takes it automatically from me.
Why am I talking? I've never even looked at that guy. You don't do anything special, sir. It's all about T-Mogger.
I flew into the mountains one day. I paid someone $100K. I brought these 2 men home with me from the mountains, and I'm like, yep, I got 2 old men now and a yak.
These poor men, they've been taken everywhere because you see them all around. That's like the go-to T-Mogging mount. So these poor men and their big yak friend are like, we are so lost.
Like, actually, they're probably, if we had to crunch the numbers somehow, they're probably the characters that we've heard the most dialogue from, just because they say something every time you summon your yak and every time you dismiss your yak because they're upset that you're leaving them behind. So, like, not only did we scoop them up from the mountains of Pandaria for 100K gold, which I don't know how legal that is, then we just, like, leave them various places across our adventures across Azeroth. So, like, they are being abandoned as well.
When are we going to give them the Warcraft version of the Purple Heart? Because you figure, like, some of these guys, they didn't go to the Shadowlands, the world of Undeath. Some of these leaders, they didn't go to the Dragon Isles. Some of them didn't storm, well, probably not ICC because that was before their time. But some of them didn't go to alternate Draenor. But you know who did? Uncle Grummy and Gumbo. Like, they have been with us every step of the journey, and it's honestly a shame that I've never even seen one paycheck for these gentlemen, let alone any accolades they deserve.
It's time to get them their flowers. It's time for this week's sexiest NPCs of the week. Grummel Clan, get up here. You're all nominated, you sexy furry beasts.
So this week's sexiest NPC is you, in parentheses, if you're a Grummel.
You know how, like, soccer players come onto the field and, like, they're, like, escorted by little children from, like, the local community? I imagine that is all of the Grummels are being escorted onto the stage by all of the Kultiran men who are not druids from season 1.
They each got one in hand.
Every single non-druid Kultiran man lifts up a little Grummel and holds them up as the Grummel waves their hands around like, yay, yay, it's our time.
So I've looked up, like, in like a Google image search, just Grummel WoW, and, like, all of the results are, like, various Grummels that have like things obscuring their eyes. It's like very, like, Cerebellum, like Powerpuff Girls, Miss Bellum coded here a little bit. Like, do we just not see, like, their eyes or the top of their heads? It's like either like hair or hats or other things obscuring the view. It's like almost like very emo or scene.
It's very emo. You know, I've never looked at their hands before. They indeed have claws. Like, I've never looked this close at a Grummel before.
This is perhaps, like, the most fascinating race to me now. Like, I just know nothing about them.
And they never appeared anywhere else. This is exclusively not even Pandaria, a Kunlai Summit specific group. They never go anywhere other than our 2 intrepid heroes. And they're just fine living there, living their nomadic life.
And the Wikipedia article for Grummels is so long. Like, their entire history is here. Get this. 12,000 years ago, during the rule of Emperor Lao Fei, they were there. The Grummels stood by the other slave species to rebel. Okay, Grummels. That's why you're so sexy, slave rebellers.
You know, like, this image on the bottom of the Wikipedia fan page of like their hair and hat removed on their model, they actually are kind of cute though. Like,
Grummel's eyes are never shown in game as they are always obscured by hair or headwear. So yeah, I guess we never see them.
Do you think, and this is not to be controversial, do you think we don't see them anymore because they do use pygmy models? Like, they made pygmies, and they're like, yeah, these are great. And then they went into MOP, and they made these guys. And maybe, like, late MOP, early WAD, it was like, oh, my God, guys, I Googled what the word pygmy is. Oh God, we gotta dump these guys quick.
Kind of seems like it, honestly. I guess the skeleton for pygmies and for grummels has only been used in the models of Jaster Gallywix and Harlan Sweet. That makes sense. That man's got a really frumpy body.
Yes, he is. He is a very strange looking gentleman.
So what, did they just like scale his model up then? Or is he that size?
No, Harlan Sweet's very
I mean,
tiny.
he's very small. Yeah, he's really small.
Yeah, this picture makes him look uglier. We gotta make him our ugliest NPC of the week. We gotta have that.
the one and only negative sexiest, the scungiest NPC of the week, Harlan Sweet. I don't like him. He will push you off with one of his attacks, and then you'll have to fight the many enemies that are left on every single freehold run.
Well, Grummels, this was your sexiest NPC of the week segment, as neglected as Blizzard has neglected you recently.
Ugh, I just saw the Harlan Sweet model that you posted in host chat. The teeth.
That's crazy that just a little man looked like that. Like, that guy was just walking around doing his thing, and allegedly no one thought that was strange.
Right? Like, kill this dude. Also, get this. This makes total sense. The Grummels love alcohol. They're alcoholics. And it's because they're earthen, like the dwarves. Grummels are just like dwarves' cousins.
Ooh, maybe they'll be making a return.
Shit.
I need a mysterious race ever since the Arathi let me down.
Yeah, what's the Arathis? I don't really like where we're going with the Arathi race. I mean, we'll
well,
see, but...
the only thing that I don't like is that they're people. When they announced the Arathis, they were all in wrapped up, like, armor, and I was like, maybe there's something weird, and they're only pretending to be human. And then they just showed Arathis, and it's like, repurposed Kultiran models.
So is this like some like old... Yeah, this is like old lore, right? Like, is this what's happening?
For the Arathis, yeah, they were just... I thought they used to be human, and then they changed into something in their millennia underground, but I guess they're just like, nope, still just normal skin. Some of us even put on some poundage. Ha ha ha.
They're like the first people, right? Is that the idea? They're like the first.
They're like the proto people. It's like Neanderthals, and then there was the thing after that. That's supposed to be
That's
that.
kind of cool.
So like the human race line in WoW was like at some point splintered off from them.
Mm-hmm. But apparently it didn't change that much. If there's humans in Arathi, how comes there's still Arathi?
Do you think we're gonna have playable Arathi? As like they're just people.
If they made playable Arathi, and it was the same goddamn models, but you could choose.
What's
like,
Lightforged Draenei?
You could. Well, but at least they're white and they have a thingy on their head, and it's like different. These Arathi models I'm seeing, it's fat guys with balding hair with the ponytail in the back. That's literally just Randleman's white cousin.
Hey, you know, I'm excited to play as an Arathi.
I'll be and I won't even care, because you know what? Day one, I'll make one and I'll run him through. And I'll just go. Brr. At least they look like Kultirans, the better humans, so I don't have to feel as bad.
Kultirans, they're still right in that high from their sexiest NPC nomination.
They were just happy to. They're happy to be included as showmen in this one. All of those beautiful gentlemen are back there snacking at the snacks on our craft table. You guys got any sea salt taffy? No. No, we don't.
But if we see one of y'all turn into any animals, you're out of here.
Oh, shit. And then here comes this guy, this sea salt gentleman. He rolls up, and he has 2 stars on his lapel. I forgot they were British. Don't worry. Not only am I a Kultiran man who doesn't transform, I'm also a rower on the Kultiran rowing team.
Oh, shit. Double dipping.
Piggy dipping at the piggy pond.
Now we're piggy dipping in our top toot, bottom boot, medium moot. Immune. Go.
Hell yeah, I'm first, and I get to say that I have a top toot.
Toot, toot, toot.
I'm just gonna say it. Mop Remix has been very refreshing. And I will say, in particular, I will zone in on saying that just like the overall whimsy of Pandaria, I just love it. And I feel like we would have loved loved it if we would have started then too, or like played then. I love how the quests are just so silly, verging on stupid, because I just love stupid. So like, I've enjoyed the questing. I've enjoyed the raiding at level. It's been an interesting experience, and I've enjoyed playing an Unholy Death Knight, which I feel like I've been saying this for a while, that I feel like I would like Death Knight if I were to play it, and that it would be the melee that I could get behind playing. And I have been enjoying it. I love the aesthetic of it. I just think it's so cool. I will say, though, it's just so many fucking buttons. I'm like, how does your opening rotation last like a minute? I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah, it's Alan was really going through it for a little bit when I was learning it at first, and it seemed like they've only added more buttons to it.
I know, I literally ran out of keybinds. I'm going to have to figure out what to do, because I'm, like, actively clicking a few of them. And I'm like, this is not sustainable. I need to figure out something. I need to move some shit around.
Ooh, that's so good. Ooh, there's nothing more powerful than putting your 4 digits on the first 4 buttons and then hovering your little mousey to click the other 4 buttons. Ugh. I got that on my man Overwatch. It's so fucking powerful. You hit him with a bunch of abilities. Ooh, what's that? Your lightning thing goes off. Time to hit him with a fire. Time to click it.
Dude, yeah, enhancement. I think enhancement is gotta be the most buttons, because I have to click whatever
Not
I
the way I play it, which is very wrong.
Wait, it has more than Unholy?
Yes, it has more than Unholy.
I would say, I know I'm playing it wrong
What
because
are
I
you
have a
doing?
manageable amount. Basically, anytime I got a passive to trigger Maelstrom weapon, I went into that. So it's less abilities and more just if I hit you with anything, Overwatch is bonking you on the toe 7 times in like half a second.
What you should do, what I did, I went into CurseForge and I downloaded Hakili. Hakili will just tell you what button to press next. And I've been doing it on my Warrior, and I'm like, oh, this is how I play Warrior. And it's interesting, because the button that I press next is not the button I think I would have to press next.
He's been having like an internal crisis over there. He's like, why am I pressing this button? Because he like wants to understand why. But like he's been blindly following Hakili, and he's been like, what would you say? Did your damage like tenfold increase?
Yeah, well, because like I feel like Warriors never made sense to me. I've always pressed it wrong, I guess, because I'm like, well, I should be always executing. But sometimes no, you don't execute. Sometimes you press other buttons, and I'm like, but it's execute phase. I don't understand. And then I'm whirlwinding randomly when I'm not trying to. It's a whole thing. You should try it. Just download it, and then it'll just be like, it'll show you 3 buttons, and it'll be like, press this one, press this one, press this one, and you're gonna be like, what the fuck is this rotation?
Well, anyways, Slidewhistle, what is your TTBBMM?
I'm gonna give a top 2 to the Mechanomes.
Oh yeah, you know what? Hopping in here, it's finally time for the Mechanomes.
I know. I just want to, before you get into it, I just also want to apologize for all the hateful things I've said about the Mechanomes over the years on this podcast. I have slandered their names for far too long, and I apologize. I acknowledge I was wrong. I love this little fucker.
Yes, I also would like to acknowledge my mistakes on hating on the Mechanome race. They are fantastic, and they 100% should have been added as a race. I know I said they shouldn't have been added as... They're so cool. First of all, okay, so like, it seems like when they made them, Blizzard understood that they had to give them some kind of jush somewhere, because they're fucking diaper robotic beings that can't wear pants. But there's so much cool, like, customized things, and I'm wondering if I even found them all. So like when a Mechanome swims, their hands start to rotate like propellers. When they dance, like the whirring sounds and like the robot dance is crazy. The clapping, when they clap, it makes like Foley sounds of like 2 cookie trays hitting each other because they have fucking metal hands.
So I will say, no judge. Do you guys have fingers?
Of course I have fingers.
I have the claspy things.
He's got
Yeah, I was about to say, I know someone's got to be brave enough to have the fucking clamps.
It's me, baby. It's the Robo-Gnome.
I guess in theory though, if you are I guess I'm a warrior, but as a Death Knight, it just kind of makes sense for you to like set that clamp onto 100 and grip that sword.
You just gotta be as nasty as possible, you know?
Yeah, I remember I made Gelbin too as nasty. I was just like, put terrible looking shit on him, put some clamps, made it all rusty brown. Yeah.
But I swear, like, they just put like some stank into these little fuckers. Like all their animations, the sounds they make, it's just like, are all gnomes like this?
I love how like the eyes glow, like they like the light beams that come out of them, and then the heritage armor is just so sick. I do have one complaint with the heritage armor is that the back, like the neck area, I can see like a little bit of hair in the back of my human skin neck. Can we just like make the helm come down a little bit more so it just makes me look fully robotic to myself? Nobody sees it but me. No one else is underneath that crevice in the camera but me. But like, it just ruins the illusion a little bit. But it's sick. I love it. The robotic screaming also as a warrior, because they're always screaming. It's something else. What about you, Aaron? TTBBMM.
Well, I just got to get one bottom boot out of the way, and that is thinking about the heritage armor. I'm pretty sure they made a silver version and a gold version, but not a rusty brown version. What are you doing? Come on.
Yeah. I was saying this too. You can really tell that the mechanomes, I mean, because they were with the first heritage armor, because like there's not enough stuff with them. The quest line is nothing. They could definitely make that armor in 3 different recolors, and nobody's gonna fucking complain, because they just make one for each skin color type, or that's it.
Yeah. You don't. That's the thing is, there's only 3 colors of cybernetics that you can even choose. You got 2 out of 3. Make a rust one, please. But I gotta say, I have a top toot as well to make this a triple toot. Toot. And it is just that on my man Overwatch, I am playing and I am doing Enhancement Shaman. And for the first time, this is now my 3rd try at doing Enhancement. It actually is fun. And I don't know what it is other than probably I'm just playing it wrong. Like I said, I forwent a bunch of abilities to just have like my core 5 and then also Fire Burst and just a bunch of Maelstrom whipping around. But I feel powerful. I feel like when I hit stuff, it's really cool. I'm constantly spinning around and I'm like, that's neat. Once again, I have yet to get into any like normal raid, not LFR, but like, or like heroic raid. I'm sure I will get humbled very soon, but I am very excited. You have posted an image of 4 abilities.
No, that's like the order that it would have you like do it in. That's like it would like press the wolves, not press the lightning fingers.
The last one there,
like it's like a DDR game or something. It's and it like has like your button number on it too. So it's like I kind of like I had it like when I was learning Fire Mage as well, or like when I've turned it off now on like on my hunter just because it's like too distracting. But like it was like training wheels, I guess, if you think about it that way.
This order is interesting, and just can already tell you how bad I am, because Spirit Wolves first. Okay, that makes sense. I actually do not know what Scary Blue Man Shocking You or Bowl of Lava is. So, but I don't know why they would then put Wind Fury Weapon, which is not an attack. It's just putting Wind Fury on your primary weapon. Why that comes fourth in the segment? I feel like that should be like
before you even pull,
that's
right?
The thing.
That should be I walked into the raid and I already have that and Flame Tongue weapon.
It's because technically, like maybe that's not even what you're supposed to be doing. Maybe like the other thing would empower it, because that's what I was going through. It was telling me to press something, and I'm like, why the fuck wouldn't I press my bleed at the beginning of the fight? And I think it's because it gets buffed or something. I've been trying to figure it out. Highly recommend trying it. Try the training rules and then turn them off later. It's interesting.
Well, if I ever make it into a a guild raid, I will certainly use Hekeli Priority Helper. Speaking of helpers, these are our $5 a month Patreons. We're talking about Ahoy, Vince, Instinct / Drag Race, Azar, and Digital Dave, asking Growlina to say, "For the Horde." Mitch wants to remind everyone that Rathion isn't daddy, he's a literal child. Crucifix, Saracen Hawk, Chris M, Kick Puncher, Jerome, new patron!
New patron!
Drew C. They might have reached out to me for a different name, but the Patreon app was not loading. So if you got to me, just let me know, and I can change your name for next week. But this week, it is Drew C. Adorno. Losing the Patient, Gershie Super Squirt Day. Calcus looking forward to enjoying Panda Express hijinks. Huzzah, Johnny's Friday is saved. Wooly, Slidewhistle Secret Stalker, tee-hee-hee. Adam N, Vanderlyle, and Will, a.k.a. Tire. Trade Chat's fallen father.
Gershi, it was Super Squirt Day in the EU like 3 days ago. Well, I hope you celebrated it somehow. If you want to celebrate Super Squirt Day, send me an email at navarracoffin@gmail.com, or about the show, send it to us at donotrelentlpod@gmail.com. You can find all of our links that now work. Maybe we should make sure and test them at donotrelent.com. Hop in the Discord. We have a YouTube because the Google podcast app closed down. So if you used to use it and you haven't found us yet, you probably aren't hearing this, but it's on YouTube just for you. What about you guys? Where are you at?
You can find me, Alex, or Immunization, on Twitter at New Era Alex, or on Blue Sky at Immunization.
You can find me, Aaron the Human, at TheBigAcheesy on Twitter.com. And you can watch me play Vigigrams at twitch.tv/AaronDNR. Shout out to all those who made my super secret early morning stream. And by that, I mean Vanderlyle for a bit. Thanks, guy. We listened to some jazz together.
To those that like to rock to Girls, 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 we salute you.
All of the Scary Movie 3 fans out there are jumping out of their seats.
And remember,
Another down.
Oh no, that was twins. The joke was twins.
It's over. And remember, for real this time,
Another down. Do not relent.
Do Not Relent is a podcast within the 3HNC network, representing U.S. Proudmoore's premier podcasts.
That was a very good wish.